Can I ask this question?
Okay, guys, your names?
Alright, peace. I'm B-boy Fever 1. I'm down with the DBS crew and also Rocksteady crew. And I'm here representing, it's in Britain, we're in London. And had a good time. We're able to dance. And we just, wanted people to see that what we do as far as the dance goes is the way we saw it when we were coming up, the way that it's always been, and we just been wanting to keep that style alive, man. Really try to show people that there's a history to this dance, and the reason why it's been around for so long has a big part to do with Rocksteady crew.
How do you think in England it could be improved at the moment? What's like the bottom
I don't
of the
really
tree
know
to
too much
improve?
about England, as far as the scene goes. What I can say as far as the dancing goes, as far as what I've seen, a lot of people in England talk about that they do a lot of the old school style and they do foundation and footwork and top rock, but I didn't really see that too much tonight. And whether that was the style at one time here or if it was never the style, but I don't know, I never saw it. But one thing I know is that you should always have the foundation. You should always have the basics. A lot of people, they say they have the basics. They don't really have the basics because you can see whether they do or not. And they're doing a lot of freezes, one-handed freezes, a lot of power moves, no rhythm, no dancing, and so on and so forth.
What would be 3 things you could give to a young person starting up in the dance?
3 things that I could
3 essential basics.
3 essential basics that I could give for young people in the B-boying community and B-girling, of course. Would number 1 would be history. History is the most important because if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. You have to know where the dance came from, how long it's been going on, some of the original pioneering crews, which generations people come from. Was it the 70s, the first generation? Was it the late 70s, early 80s, the second generation? Was it the early 80s, mid 80s, 90s, and that's the 3rd generation. Now, I would say that there's a next coming of a 4th generation. But usually it comes around when all the limelight disappears and you see who is ending up lasting in this dance. So that's, the most important thing is the history. The basics, you got to practice your basics, your foundation. Same thing, you got to know every move has a key. It opens doors to another move if you have your basics. And the last thing, last and not least, this is a competitive dance. When I mean competitive, you're going to battle someone to show them that you're the best. Not to say that you're better than someone in the sense that you have a big head and my style is better than yours, but you want to be the best that you can be. And the only way you can do that is by competing. You compete with your crewmates, you compete against other people. This is a competitive dance. And that's why a lot of times you see the real raw essence when you see 2 people going at it. You know what I mean? It's not always a spectacle and you laugh and let's see who can stand on their hand for the longest. It's just really aggressive, you're dancing, and those are the 3 things, I must say.
That's cool.
Yeah, foundation, history.
You want to say some stuff?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Ness,
Do you want to have a word for your words, yeah?
drop your name, I'll put him on.
So,
your name?
Alien Ness. I represent, of course, DBS, Dropping Mr. Styles, and Rocksteady, Zulu Kings, and Hyrule Physics, with respect to Zulu Nation.
Okay, when did you start dancing?
I started dancing roughly in '82 when I was about 15 years old. I'm going this fall on 18 years in the game, and I'm 33 now. And still competitive, still out here competing with these young bucks. A lot of the people don't understand or don't get the concept of the fact that I'm my age and I'm still being aggressive and competitive and holding my own against. I mean, all of us is old. Fever's not a young buck. He's 30 years old. Tough Tim Twist is older than I am. He's 35 years old and is still out here competitive. It's not about the shine and it's not about the big name and the big lights, because if you think about it, Rocksteady crew has done it all. We're the next generation and we're representing what the other brothers did. And what they did was keep the name alive and prove that they were the best. And that's what we're trying to do by withholding that name and coming to these battles. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what judges say, we all know what's correct in the dance. What we bring is something that's of the true school essence, but it's got a new school twist, and people, you can't fool 4,000 people. You know what I mean? You can't do that.
Where do you look for your inspiration now these days?
What do I
as
look
opposed
for?
to back in the day?
What I look for in inspiration is back in the days. Back in the days, my inspiration was more, when I was younger and coming up, was more, you know, like everybody else, the ghetto celebrity status, the fame. We wanted to do tours. I used to look up to Rocksteady in New York City.
What about now? What do you look for now?
Now is just like saying, hey, I'm still here. That's my inspiration. When I wake up every morning and go into a show, and I'm like, damn, I'm still here. I'm still doing this, and I'm still getting the crowd. When the crowd gets me amped, that's what my inspiration is. I listen for the crowd. If the crowd is feeling me, that's why I draw my energy from the crowd.